There is nothing outside of yourself that can enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. In medieval Japan, the samurai were the ultimate warriors. Leaders, protectors of the people, examples of code of conducts and virtues, and stewards of how to live an honorable life. Arguably the greatest of all these samurai was Miyamoto Musashi. While Miyamoto was noted as a fearsome warrior and an expert in the two-sword style that the samurai preferred, his greatest works come in the form of his famous book, the Book of Five Rings, and the Dokkodo, his 21 precepts for life that he wrote during his last few days. In these books, Musashi presents an interesting and unique view of the world, one that was developed during his life as a samurai, a ronin, a Buddhist, and through his Japanese culture. We covered the first of these 7 precepts in our first video on the Dokkodo, which we will put up a card for and a link in the description. This video will cover the next 7 topics, and we will wrap up the 3-part series in the coming weeks. Now, let's start with precept number 8. Never let yourself be saddened by separation. As a ronin, Musashi spent much of his life traveling and roaming the country, never truly having a home to call his own. When leaving a village where he might have made friends over the years, he could never know if they would be alive on his next visit. In fact, the warrior code of the samurai was known as Bushido, which roughly translates to the way of dying. While we may not have to face such extreme separation or change as death on a daily basis, people, places, and things are constantly moving in and out of our lives. While not easy, Musashi taught that it was important to look at all the events of your life knowing that they would one day end. This might manifest itself as the end of a relationship, moving, a change of job, or ultimately the loss of a loved one. Just like the Stoics teach memento mori, which translates to remember death, this is not meant to be a morbid fascination, but a reminder to enjoy the places, people, and things in your life while they are part of it, because one day they won't be. Precept 9. Hold no grudges against yourself or others. Negative emotions like anger, jealousy, regret, and the holding of grudges doesn't help you accomplish anything. All of these emotions put you in a negative, non-productive mindset. Practice forgiveness and moving on. These things may not be easy, but it is much easier to do this than to carry around the emotional baggage that these negative emotions come with for the rest of your life. Number 10. Steer clear of the path to attachment. This rule goes hand in hand with number 8. In Musashi's view, attachment to anything, be it love, luxuries, delicacies, possessions, grudges, ego, or even superstitions, were indulgencies that distracted one from the pursuit of mastery. Gandhi taught similarly. He was the ultimate minimalist and reportedly owned fewer than 10 things when he died. In the modern world, this rule might be extremely hard to follow, which makes it that much more important to be mindful of, especially in the view of possessions. Too often we get caught up in the attachment to certain things. I need a new car, or a new house, or I need to go to my favorite restaurant. I need my morning coffee. Most of us have developed attachment to things that are so strong that our day can be ruined without them. I think the idea of going on a 30-day fast from different items that you are overly attached to is a great practice. After 30 days without coffee, social media, or whatever your attachment is, you realize that you don't need these things. Sure, they're nice to have, and you may choose to go back to them, but hopefully you'll do so with a new appreciation. Number 11. In all things, do not have any preferences. The translation on this rule varies quite a bit, but the general thought is that the tools that you use on your pursuit of your goals matter far less than the journey itself. Why use custom Japanese knives worth $500 when a Costco butter knife will do the trick? And speaking of which, precept number 12. Have no luxury in your house. Marketing departments worldwide have gotten really good at convincing you that you need the newest, nicest, biggest, and most expensive item on the market to be happy. We are led to believe that in everything our lives will be amazing if we have the certain logo on our car, purse, or clothing. The problem is that this is simply not true. It has been proven over and over that those things will not make you happy. Even money fails to continue to provide happiness after a certain point. Musashi knew what many people never learn. It's not fancy cars or nice items that will bring you happiness. It's the path where you struggle, fight, and pursue excellence. Places where learning never stops. Finding a purpose greater than you. These are the sources of happiness and fulfillment. Number 13. Pursue no delicacies for yourself. Just as Musashi put little worth into material possessions, delicacies like food, sweets, and intoxicating beverages weren't high on his list either. Indulgences of any kind, be it food, luxury items, or whatever your personal creature comforts are, simply distract you from the pursuit of your goals and purpose. Number 14. Lastly, do not hold on to possessions longer than you need. Holding with the theme of the last few rules, Musashi felt very little need to keep family heirlooms, luxuries, or sentimental items. To Musashi, a finely crafted modern sword was a weapon and a necessity of life. His great-grandfather's sword was antiquated and would no longer hold an edge, was an unnecessary burden and possession. This may not be an issue for you, or maybe you live in a cluttered mess that makes it hard to find things. If you are interested in decluttering your space, try this. Pack everything you own as if you were moving. Label the boxes and organize everything. Just doing this step will help you throw away junk that you really shouldn't be saving in the first place. After everything is packed, spend the next month unpacking and putting things back where you originally kept them, only as you need them. You will likely be amazed at how much stuff sits in a box and doesn't get touched for a month. Ask yourself if you really need any of that stuff. Musashi's view was that this stuff doesn't serve a purpose and is a distraction and therefore should be gotten rid of or donated. Remember, there is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to be better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. This set of rules, more so than the first 7 or the last 7, are all about avoiding distractions and maintaining your focus on the important things in your life. If you missed our first video on Musashi's Dokkodo, then there will be a card to let you watch it now, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified when we release the last 7 precepts in the near future.